During production, unfortunately, 12-year-old Heather O'Rourke died whilst filming the final scenes. She had developed stomach cramps on set, and she was taken to the hospital where she had cardiac arrest and died. Now, if I'm honest, that is one of the few films which I do think there is something amiss.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, I don't believe they don't mention the devil.
No.
There's no occultness of the film, unlike The Omen or The Exorcist. It's just very weird. There's a lot of strange things. I've already mentioned about the Super Bowl poster.
Yes.
Where there's a poster in Robbie's room in the first film.
Yes.
Which, bear in mind, the film is set in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
It's for...
Not just set, but filmed in.
Yeah, sorry, it was filmed in 1982. The poster is for Super Bowl 1988.
Yes.
I think it's Super Bowl 88, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think.
It
I'm
is.
not down with my American football, you know. But yeah, I think it's Super Bowl 88.
It is.
Now, the weird thing about that is that on the poster, it says about Super Bowl weekend, it says about the teams that are playing. It's the same weekend that Super Bowl 88 actually took place. It's the same teams that played in Super Bowl 88.
And it took place in, I think it was San Francisco, wasn't it?
It was San Francisco, where Heather O'Rourke died literally the day before.
Mm-hmm. The Super Bowl took place, and it's really tragic, and because she was misdiagnosed. Essentially, she was diagnosed by doctors with Crohn's disease, I think it was.
Yeah.
So she was given steroids, and if you notice in the third film, she has sort of puffy chipmunk cheeks in some scenes, and that was obviously as a result of the medication. But unfortunately, it was a congenital defect where she had this. Basically a pocket in her intestines, which was gathering, waste, and that is what ruptured and ultimately killed her through septic shock.
Yeah.
Which is a freaking horrific way to die, and so young. And again, Cursed Films, goes into it, and the director is interviewed, I think.
Yeah.
And it's so sad, and it really does. I mean, let's just face it, it's not a very good film.
No, it's not. I mean, the ending is particularly rushed.
Because they had to use a stand-in.
Exactly. All throughout those last couple of minutes, you never see Carol Ann's face.
Yeah, and it really, you really feel it. But also you just feel so awful. I just did not enjoy the film.
No. But,
because of, knowing the background.
Yeah, and of course, and the director... who's talking during Cursed Films, says that the production company basically said, well, we've got to carry on. But I understand that because it's a multi-million pound production.
They didn't want to make it, they didn't want to release it, they didn't want to reshoot the ending.
And I understand that.
Of course, yeah.
But then we come on to a film called A Tuck. A Tuck was a comedy which never got made. Because all throughout, every time they went into production, they cast the main character for... I can't even remember the name of the character. But basically, it's about an Eskimo who goes to New York. And the person who was supposed to be playing the Eskimo in the original was John Belushi.
Right.
He died of a drug overdose, I think it was. After that was Sam Kinison, who died of, I believe that was a heart attack.
Right.
After that, John Candy was tapped to play the role. He died of a heart attack. And then after that, Chris Farley was tapped to play the character of the Eskimo in A Tuck. And he died whilst entering negotiations for the film.
That's really weird.
It is, and it was very, very consecutive.
So that film was obviously cursed by Inuits.
But yep, I would have said so.
Who were like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
We don't want to be stereotyped in cinema anymore.
No.
We're going to curse this film.
Let's hope that film never gets made.
Oh, yeah. Who knows what hell will be unleashed.
Now, I will say the Superman curse.
Okay.
Do you know much about this?
No.
So the Superman curse goes back to the very first inclination of Superman.
Okay. Cinematic or generally?
Pardon?
Cinematic or in general?
Cinematic. Well, originally it was a TV series, I believe. Mm-hmm. I can't remember who played it. I want to say his name was George Reeves. He played Superman and he got murdered.
Okay.
In very mysterious ways.
Mm.
Then you had the brilliant Christopher Reeve, who was had done 4 of the films.
Yes.
He was making, I think it was some sort of Lady Shatterly's lover sort of film, where he fell from his horse and he was paralysed.
Yeah.
He then later died a few years later. Then you have Dean Cain, where he isn't dead, but not much happened for him, and he went through financial.
Throwing some shade at Dean Cain.
I am throwing a little bit of shade at Dean Cain.
I think he's in some sort of reality present. He presents something. He's doing all right.
But you played Superman. Now you're doing reality TV.
Sure.
Come on.
Oh, poor Dean.
Then you also have Brandon Routh, who had similar things that happened to Dean Cain. Basically, his career just never went anywhere. Now, granted, within the last couple of years, he's been, I think it's Legends of Tomorrow. He's in that, and he's been in like Scott Pilgrim and stuff like that. But he hasn't never reached that potential that he should have had. And then I think it kind of ends with, let's hope, Henry Cavill, who,
he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's doing fine, though, Man from Uncle.
Well, yes.
Not.
He doesn't. Everything doesn't have to be a smash hit, but you know.
But yeah, you also had is it Margaret or Margot? Margot Kidder. She had a lot of mental health problems.
She did, yeah.
She sadly passed a couple of years ago. But basically, she spoke very positively of her whole time with Superman, and she even said that the film wasn't cursed, it was a blessing for her. So never know, maybe swings and roundabouts, say. And then finally, my last one, The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, well, that's a surprising choice.
Yes. So there's an internet rumor going around that the Tin Man.
The Tin Man.
The Tin Man. The actor who played the Tin Man. He had lead poisoning because the paint that was painted over him.
Okay.
Yes.
This is kind of a James Bond sort of, gold paint.
Yeah, kind of. But there were a couple of deaths, but none of them were whilst making the film.
Okay.
So it's just, I think some of the deaths that were involved in that were just years after. So was it really cursed?
It doesn't sound very likely. I mean,
no.
Obviously, there's the whole kind of mythology about the one of the actors who played I can't remember what they're called. I can only think Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Munchkin.
Munchkin, yes. Thank you.
One of the Munchkin actors hung themselves, and you can see it in the set. But
this brings me on to my final segment.
Okay.
Because, yes, apparently a Munchkin hangs himself whilst they're doing We're Off to See the Wizard, and they're going
into the woods from the Yellow Brick Road. Yeah,
it's not.
It's definitely not.
It's not. Do you know what it is?
It's a piece of scenery.
Nope.
What is it?
It's a flamingo.
A flamingo? What, a real one?
Yeah, but it didn't kill himself.
Oh,
or
it's not.
No.
A flamingo hung themselves on a set.
It's quite literally the shadow of a flamingo lifting its head.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Because I remember finding it.
Or was it a stork? I think it was a flamingo. I'm sure it was.
Well, it was some kind of
a bird that was eaten on the ground and lifted its head up, and that's all it is. Just cast a shadow, which made it look like something was swinging.
Well, I found it quite disturbing.
But it's not true.
But the most recent time that I watched Wizard of Oz, I was like, oh yeah, it doesn't look anything like it.
No, it doesn't. It's just one of these internet rumours, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think it predates the internet.
Well, yes, of course.
But it's just it's just one of those horror stories, like with 3 Men and a Baby.
Yes. So the ghost of 3 Men and a Baby.
Which is
isn't.
Just so stupid.
It is not a ghost. This was a school rumor where they said I remember this because kids were like, "Oh, a kid was murdered in their apartment." No, for a start, it was shot on a soundstage. Nobody lived there. It wasn't really a New York apartment block. It really wasn't. It was a soundstage.
Yeah.
The boy, inverted commas, so you can't see, bunny ears. The boy is actually a cardboard cutout of Ted Danson.
Very clearly, it's Ted Danson.
Very clearly. Now,
but it is funny, these things do, when especially kind of at school, these kind of things do get into your head, and I'm sure the young people with the TikToks and their ghost videos have the same kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh god, some of these TikTok videos that we've seen. It's so ridiculous because you see the person dancing in front of the camera and then something runs behind them. It's like stupid.
It was just a person, isn't it?
Stop it.
Yeah. Don't believe you.
Yeah. Stop being fake ghost videos.
Just because you're not good enough at dancing to get likes.
Yeah. Stop pretending to have a ghost.
Exactly.
You don't have a ghost. You've got stupid.
Exactly. Whereas we might have a ghost.
But no, we don't.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So this refers to the fact that last night I was by myself on Halloween Eve, and I'd just gone to get myself a drink. I was watching The Omen, in fact, and suddenly there was a loud bang come from above me,
which is the attic.
The attic, or the loft.
The loft.
And I didn't investigate.
Of course, we don't have a ladder.
Yeah, we don't. And I was like, you know what? It's all right. It's all good.
Rather not know.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not going to have a look.
No, I
don't need to. All good. All cherry in my world.
Yeah. So we've either got a ghost or someone's living up there.
Don't say that, because that is a legitimate fear that I have. We've seen those videos where somebody crawls down and steals someone's fruit or food. I don't want that in my life.
Well, just keep tabs on, how many slices of bread there are. Or
yeah. Oh my God, if they touch my cereal bars, I'm battering them. Well, I won't. I'll be scared. I'll be running away. But yes, so that happened, but I don't feel that our house is haunted. Anybody who wants to hear about some of my spooky stories can listen to We Need to Talk About Ghosts.
Well, that was a very good plug there. That was natural. I liked it.
Thank you. I have sent a few. I've had a few freaky things happen to me. I won't talk about them here. Go listen to Kev tell my story.
I'm clearly completely not receptive because I've had nothing.
No, I think the weirdest thing that ever happened to you was that man in East Sheen, where we used to live.
Agatha Christie.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Well, we were just walking to Waitrose, and a man who looked maybe possibly, transient, let's say. We were just passing him, and as we passed, he, in the style of a football chant, said, "Agatha Christie," and it was the best thing that's ever happened to me.
He didn't say anything else.
No, that was it. Just went on his merry way. It was
brilliant.
Oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Yes. So, that's the end of our Halloween special.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Good.
It was an education.
Well, that's kind of. I forgot a load of names.
Well, that's fine. We can look them up later.
Yeah, and then I'll do another podcast. Goes, these are the names. But no, in all seriousness, I would like to thank We Need to Talk About Ghost Kev for being absolutely fantastic and plugging us as much as he has done recently. Really nice of him. Go and listen to the We Need to Talk About Ghost Halloween special quiz.
Yes.
Also, check out the Campfire Stories by Real Life Ghost Stories. It's a good one.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to head off and we're going to watch Halloween, of course. Yeah, something like that. And we'll be back tomorrow with one of our regularly scheduled episodes.
Yes. So, toodles for now. And remember, don't have nightmares unless you want to have nightmares, and that go on, knock yourself out. Have a nightmare.
And
eat some cheese.
Look out for some razor blades in your chocolate.
Oh my God, is that a thing?
I don't know.
I hope not, because I had a Mars bar. Toodles.
Goodbye.